Good afternoon, everyone. I hope I'm visible as well as audible to you guys. Hi, Aliza. Hello, Avi. Good afternoon, everyone. I think you guys must be aware of the recent update in the timings. So English session will be held separately from now onwards, and I'm still like looking forward to seeing all of you here. So I hope you guys are ready for today's class. And yeah, let's start with the session. Let's get on with it. And anybody who has already managed to read the Hindu editorial as of now, chalo, let's start. I hope you can see my screen, by the way. Good afternoon, Aryan. Good afternoon, Yashita. Hi, Kushagra. How are you? Hi, Drishti. Good afternoon, Aishwarya. Your name is Aishwarya or Swati? I'm doing absolutely awful, Vedansh. You might have thought that I'll give you a positive response. I'm having a bad case of cough and headache, and the usual seasonal changes are taking their toll on me. So, yeah, that's one of the first things to get rid of. So, moving forward to the class, and as you already know, we're going to discuss some difficult words, we are going to discuss one editorial analysis, and that's pretty much it. Okay? And which one are you talking about, Sanchit? For failure? I don't exactly remember. I'll try to recall it. If I do, remember it, I'll definitely use it in a sentence. Okay, Sanchit? And Aliza, if this is your very first class, welcome. And I hope this is the first of many classes. Thank you so much, everyone. Yeah, I hope I get well soon. And today you will have to bear with my coughing and sneezing. So, yeah, that's on you. So, coming back to the class. Let's start with the first high frequency, difficult word of the day, formidable. Formidable is an adjective and it's something which inspires fear. Have you ever had a formidable teacher in your life? Thank you so much, Drishti, and thank you, guys. You are so sweet. I just hope I get back on my feet soon, like basically get my voice back. So coming back to this, formidable का मतलब होता है inspiring fear, somebody who's extremely scary and somebody you try to avoid at all costs, like like my maths teacher, I remember. So I was really bad at mathematics. The people who have been in my classes, I've already told them that. So formidable का मतलब होता है scary, and I think we have all met scary, dominating people in our lives. So you guys can easily use it in your sentences. Thank you so much, Sanchit. That means a lot to me. And usage, his accomplishments were formidable during the first 3 decades of his reign. By the way, can anybody tell me whether we have used the word formidable in a positive way or a negative way in this sentence? क्योंकि generally तो उसको negatively ही use किया जाता है, but यहाँ पे we are using it in a positive manner. You might have noticed that. His accomplishments were formidable. That means people were scared of his remarkable contributions for the first 3 decades of its reign. The Kauravas were the only formidable opponents to Pandavas. Very good, Yashita. Great. And let's use one more example here. Okay, I'll use this one. She was formidable when it came to getting things done. That was a kind of formidable situation for me. Exactly. The old woman was quite formidable for the kids. Yes, our general neighborhood auntie, right, Vaishnavi? So, moving to the next word for the day, reconciliation. Lately, you might be seeing this word being, popping up a lot. And I think in one of my classes, somebody asked me the meaning of reconciliation. So I thought this could be the best opportunity to discuss it. And this is a noun, by the way. तुम लोगों की कभी अपने बेस्ट फ्रेंड से लड़ाई हुई है? आई थिंक सभी की हुई होगी. what are best friends for. तो जब हमारी लड़ाई होती है बट कुछ टाइम के बाद आई थिंक वी डू रियलाइज आवर मिस्टेक एंड देन वी वांट टू गेट बैक ऑन फ्रेंडली टर्म्स, ये भी हुआ है लड़ाई के बाद, रिस्टोरिंग योर फ्रेंडशिप, राइट? So that is basically what reconciliation is all about, the act of causing two people or groups to become friendly again after an argument or disagreement. ठीक है? And this kind of tends to happen very commonly in Indian households. हम रोज अपनी मम्मी से पापा से लड़ाई करते हैं and then again by dinner time we are friends as if nothing has happened, right? So that is reconciliation. My thinking is sometimes formidable. That means you're scared of the way you think. And I've got one more example. He's a formidable opponent. Yes, absolutely. Now let's use reconciliation in a sentence. The Earl was seeking a reconciliation with his wife. Generally, husband wife में नोक झोंक तो चलती ही रहती है. So obviously, the husband wants to seek a reconciliation with the wife. By the way, Earl is a title. In Britain, they give titles to people who hold important positions, authority. So Earl is one of those titles. तो हम देख सकते हैं यहाँ पे the Britishers need to reconcile their actions against Palestine. Yes, the last time around, I think we did discuss this thing, right, Avi? My sister is quite formidable whenever I ask for her chocolates. Aryan, yeah. So you are asking for the wrong thing, obviously. So moving forward, the reconciliation between the two parties took forever. I always seem formidable because, okay, because you easily take injections. I am scared of injections. The plaintiff was asked to reconcile with the defendant. By the way, reconciliation is a noun, reconcile is a verb. ठीक है? Just know the difference between the two. Most of you are using it as a verb here. जैसे कि you can see it here. The plaintiff was asked to reconcile. To reconcile is again a noun because it's an infinitive noun. So that's a different thing. The Britishers need to reconcile again. It's used as a noun. So ठीक है. She reconciled her differences. Now here it's being used as a verb. ठीक है? So know the difference between the two. जैसे कि innocent or innocence. Innocent is an adjective. Innocence is a noun. The third one, back foot. I think you guys must have heard this phrase very often, right? Back foot is a phrase, by the way. And it, in simple words, it actually means being at a disadvantage. ऐसा कभी हुआ है कि कोई कंपटीशन में पार्टिसिपेट किया हो एंड आपको कुछ चोट लग गई हो एंड देयर इज द सेकंड राउंड एंड यू आर नॉट रियली अप फॉर इट, यू आर एट अ डिसएडवांटेज. Okay, so that means you are playing at the back foot. आया समझ में? So if someone is on the back foot or if something puts them on the back foot, they feel threatened and act defensively. Obviously, अगर you are at a disadvantage, the way you will behave will be a little different, right? So as you can see here, usage, they started the match on the back foot but made a surprising comeback. I think we all wanted that to happen with India in the World Cup, isn't it? They started the match on the back foot, but made a surprising comeback, although we never really got the chance to make that surprising comeback, and it still breaks our heart, right? When it comes to homework, I'm always at the back foot. Yashita, I used to be the same kind of student. Homework was something really boring, right? Okay, and I think we all can relate with the cricket example, World Cup example, back foot, right? Okay, I started the meeting at the back foot, as my presentation got deleted as soon as I entered the room. Opposition party members are reconciling. Sanchit, here you need to use the verb form because you have used are there, so are reconciling with union government. The team's victory was not because of their strength, but their opponents were at back foot. I think Vaishnavi, you're talking about India again. I feel Back foot. I feel being on the back foot at the time of award distribution. Okay, that's a lovely example, Eliza. Okay, moving forward to the next word of the day, dissuaded. Is this word similar to some other word that you have heard? देख लो यहाँ पे, persuade and dissuade. But do they actually mean the same thing? Not really. Dissuaded is opposite of persuaded. Look at the way how persuade has been used here. When you're persuading somebody to do something, that means you're convincing them to do something. Whereas dissuading actually means to persuade somebody not to do something. ठीक है? For example, I dissuaded my friend to cheat. ठीक है? I dissuaded my friend to cheat. That means I basically persuaded him or her not to cheat. आया समझ में? So it's the opposite of persuasion. Persuasion means convincing. I persuaded my friend to cheat. That means मैंने कन्विंस कर लिया कि अपन दोनों मिलके चीट करते हैं. वहीं पे मैंने अगर डिसुएट किया, that means we should not cheat. We should give the exam honestly. Just yesterday I was watching 12वीं 12th fail, and उसमें भी if you remember there is this first scene जिसमें वो बोलते हैं चीटिंग बंद करनी पड़ेगी. तो it's kind of the same thing. Okay, so I tried to dissuade him from giving up his job. Obviously, if somebody has responsibilities, they just can't go around giving up their jobs, right? So I tried to persuade him not to give up his job. That's how you can use it. A good mentor always dissuades to not take the wrong path. Exactly. Yes, Yashita, absolutely fantastic movie. Everybody should watch it. Whenever you're feeling demotivated, you should definitely watch it. I was watching it for the second time in scenes. पूरी तो नहीं देखी मैंने, but हाँ कुछ scenes देखे थे. चलो, coming to the next word, cohesive. How many of you have used Fevicol for their projects in school? वहाँ पे नीचे लिखा रहता है adhesive. It has cohesive property. Cohesive का मतलब होता है, first of all, it's an adjective and it describes something that sticks together, literally as well as figuratively. Okay. Her parents tried to dissuade her. Okay. I dissuaded my friend not to. I cannot see, Aliza, the word here because of the, because of the icon. So I'll just read it once. Okay, yeah. I dissuaded my friend not to do conspiracy. Okay. ठीक है. So you have understood the meaning it means. So cohesive का मतलब होता है, you can remember it from adhesive. Adhesives क्या करते हैं? It helps you stick something. Okay, glue together. So describe something that sticks together, literally as well as figuratively. For example, it takes an enormous amount of work to make a cohesive album. I'm talking about the photo album, I'm also talking about the music album. Both of them actually require a lot of work. And cohesive का मतलब क्या होता है? You need to combine it all together. You need to make it stick, right? That's cohesive. Her cohesive attempts to convince her mom paid off. The cohesive bond of the friends makes the best team. Exactly, Vaishnavi. Similarly, I share a cohesive relationship with my mother, right? You can use it like that. The next one is regressive. Again, a very common word. Most of you might already know the meaning also. This is again another adjective. Today I actually found several adjectives in the newspaper. That's the reason. So regressive is another adjective, and regressive का मतलब होता है returning to previous state. But the previous state was actually a worse situation. It's a less advanced version or the worst state or way of behaving. For example, uh, you bagged a great job, ठीक है? But then you got fired. So that is a regressive state. ठीक है? पहले तो आपके साथ कुछ बहुत अच्छा हुआ, but then you couldn't keep up with the job, so you got fired. So it's basically you are back to a less advanced worse state. That's regressive. ठीक है? My friend circle is small, but it's a cohesive group. That's a lovely example. I have a cohesive bond with my parents. Aliza, that's enough. With my parents is enough. ठीक है? Regressive. So I tried to bring in some, relatable example here. How many of you can relate to this? As Gen Z navigates the complexities of adulthood, they often seek solace in regressive hobbies like coloring books and building Lego sets to alleviate stress and reconnect with simpler times. By the way, if you do not know the meaning of solace, it's basically peace. Alleviate means to pacify or to mellow down something. So कितने लोग हैं because of the complexities of adulthood, slowly and steadily you are, you know, going to get older. कितने लोग हैं who actually go back to what they used to do when they were little, like coloring books, like building Lego sets. यहाँ पे कोई है जिसने Lego sets के साथ खेला है? I haven't, but turns out this is actually quite a popular activity among the boys, even the girls. Okay, that's nice. So, incinerating waste rather than recycling it would be a regressive step. What a great example, Drishti. I'm trying to stick to my schedule cohesively, but I ended up my day watching a Netflix series, Aditya Us. All of us, I guess. So, yeah, even the movie Lego. Yes, I think there has been several movies made on the same topic. बहुत सारे लोग होते हैं जो उनको पुरानी यादों में या अपनी चाइल्डहुड मेमोरीज को रीलिव करने में मजा आता है, तो इवन दैट्स अ रिग्रेसिव स्टेप, ऑल्दो इट माइट मेक यू फील गुड. ओके, सो आई थिंक वी कैन बी अ लिटिल रिग्रेसिव इन आवर थिंकिंग. ठीक है? एंड आदित्य, योर सेंटेंस इज ग्रेट. ठीक है? ओके. व्हेन आई went back to my childhood spot, I felt rejuvenated, not regressive. Okay? Then, moving to the next one, synergy. Synergy का मतलब energy नहीं होता है. Synergy का मतलब होता है a combined action or operation. Okay? So, basically, energy in sync. I think you can remember it like that. Energy in sync is synergy, right? Combined action or operation. Usages, the synergy between the team members resulted in a successful project outcome. It's very, very important that when you're working in a team, there should be synergy. Synergy का मतलब होता है everybody is ready to put in the hard work, right? Similarly, the synergy of my class on the day of the annual function was unmatched, right? Regressive, Aliza, regressive का मतलब होता है returning to a previous and less advanced version or state. For example, देखो मैंने अभी example दिया था कि suppose you get a great job, but you cannot really keep up with the job, so obviously eventually they'll fire you from the job. और अगर आप fire हो गए उस job से, so that means you are back to square one. आपने जहां से शुरू किया वहीं पहुंच गए. ठीक है? It's basically a less advanced, worse situation for you. So that's regressive. Okay, there was a synergy between Indian Army and the US Army. Okay, the synergy of me and my brother in selecting a movie is unmatched. The idea of synergy in group work is an urban myth. All right, Yashita, that's a new take. There must be a synergy between roommates. Yes, otherwise Your life is going to be a living hell if you are not in synergy with your roommate. You guys have given some incredible examples. Very good, Aditya, Vaishnavi, Yashita, Lisa. Great work. ठीक है? Moving to the next one. Fortified. Fortified, just try remembering it like building a fort. So तुम लोगों ने fort को देखा होगा. A fort is always very strong in stature, isn't it? Because it's made in a way to protect the king and obviously everybody related to the king. So fortified का मतलब होता है strengthened or reinforced. Okay? So when you fortify an opinion, that means you're trying to strengthen your opinion by giving some necessary justification, evidences, all of those things. Okay, so when you're trying to reinforce something, that's fortified. For example, the castle was fortified with high walls and sturdy gates to protect it from invaders. That's why a fort is built, right? So fortified, yaad rakhna, from a fort is always strong, it provides strength, it's obviously a reinforced strength. Okay? Okay. The boss's behavior fortified renewed energy among the employees. Okay? That means the boss also behaved in such a way that actually it instilled a renewed sense of energy among the employees. Can you also use it in your own examples? It's a verb, as you can clearly see, it ends with ed, right? She fortified her presence in the MUN by winning every debate. Their opinion seemed fortified on us, but it was actually biased. Very good. Acha, just try using relatable examples. For example, how can you use fortified in your daily life? कैसे किसी चीज को तुम strengthen या reinforce कर सकते हो? From the past few weeks, I am cohesively trying to fortify my critical reasoning section, but the results are not as fruitful as of now. Aditya, you're soon going to get some positive outcomes out of it. Just keep working hard. Okay? So that's a lovely example, by the way. Avengers usually feel fortified because of Iron Man. See, this is a very relatable example. Most of you might have watched एवेंजर्स. सो ऐसे एग्जाम्पल्स यूज करो जो लॉन्ग टाइम तक याद रहे. ठीक है? और रिलेटेबल. Moving forward to the article of the day, I thought that we were doing a lot of articles on politics, geopolitics lately, so I brought in something new. And this was very interesting and very easy also to understand. Honor and exception on the Bharat Ratna and its recipients. Are you guys aware who got the Ratna recently, the recipients? There are two people. किसी को याद है नाम? The choice of past leaders for Bharat Ratnas is in tune with politics of the present. See, Bharat Ratna is generally given to basically fortify the sense of pride as well as teamwork among the people who are associated with that person. Okay? Hermione is always fortifying in the trio. Exactly. Very good. You guys already know about the recipients. I'm so proud of you. It's LK Advani and exactly. The second person is Karpuri Thakur. And as you already know, the Bharat Ratna is the highest civilian honor. सबको ही पता है अगर जिसको भी मिलता है इसका मतलब है वो highest order वाला award मिला है आपको. And it has been conferred on 50 people since 1954. What is the meaning of conferred? I have intentionally highlighted these words. I wanted to ask the meanings from you guys. If you do not know, it's okay. I have already written the meanings in the next slide. So किसी को पता है conferred का मतलब? For example, if I confer you with the title of head boy or head girl, जो कि तुम लोगों की investiture ceremony में होता ही होगा, कोई head boy, head girl, sports captain, this or that बनता ही है. ठीक है, that means I am presenting it as a title, and also I'm presenting it in an official ceremony, right? It's not an unofficial कि मैंने तुमसे कान में बोल दिया कि तुम आज से कैप्टन हो. No, it doesn't work that way. Obviously it has to be done publicly in a formal setting, right? So that is conferred. So अभी तक 50 लोगों को ये award मिल चुका है. And if I talk about the current recipients, BJP leader LK Advani and the late socialist leader, obviously it's a posthumous award. What is the meaning of posthumous? Receiving an award posthumously. किसी को पता है? Oh, nobody knows that. Posthumously, that means the person is already dead. Exactly. After death, bilkul sahi. When you receive an award posthumously, that means after you are already dead. You have already hit the bucket, right? Okay, great. I think most of you already know the meanings. Lovely. So, moving forward, these two people are the newest recipients, and obviously, the making of national heroes is equally about the recipients. देखो, जब भी हम एक सही आदमी को एक सही अवार्ड देते हैं, ठीक है, it kind of acts as a stimulant of a collective consciousness, don't you feel? किसी सही आदमी को acknowledge किया जा रहा है for his great achievements. Won't you be filled with the same kind of pride, happiness, renewed strength, probably the feeling of patriotism? Yes. So that's the reason यहाँ पे हम देख सकते हैं the making of national heroes is equally about the recipients as it is about the function, how it functions as a stimulant for the collective consciousness. Collective consciousness का मतलब है the people that it surrounds. And यहाँ पे हम Indians की बात कर रहे हैं. It's often the collective that needs heroes to hold itself together. देखो, human beings are very simple creatures. We always want somebody to guide us. We always look up to somebody for guidance, isn't it? जब हम छोटे रहते हैं तो we look up to our teachers or our parents. We look up to our elder brothers or sisters. हमें हमेशा कोई ना कोई चाहिए जो हमें एक सही पाथ दिखाए बेसिकली. तो यहाँ पे भी हम देख सकते हैं कि it is often the collective that needs heroes to hold itself together. जब भी कोई hero होता है तो we know that we can trust them, we can actually be dependent on them. So by placing leaders on a higher pedestal, what is the meaning of pedestal? You might have seen statues, right? Statues are always sat on a pedestal. तो कोई मुझे बता सकता है कि क्या होता है pedestal? अगर मैं बात करूं literal meaning की, तो लिटरल मीनिंग का मतलब होता है इट इज अ स्टैंड बेसिकली, जिसके ऊपर किसी स्टैच्यू को रखा जाता है, ठीक है. बट इफ आई टॉक अबाउट द फिगुरेटिव मीनिंग, इफ यू आर मेकिंग समबडी सिट ऑन अ पेडिस्टल, दैट मीन्स यू थिंक ऑफ देम as somebody like a hero for yourself. ठीक है, making somebody sit on a higher level, you respect them, you trust them. ठीक है, it's a platform. Exactly. The group seeks to reinforce ideals represented by them. जब आप किसी को ऐसे पेडिस्टल पे बिठाते हो ना, तो उस आदमी ने जितने भी आइडियल्स अपनी लाइफ में बेसिकली इनकॉर्पोरेट किए होंगे, you also want to mirror the same things in your life. Don't you feel? If your leader is somebody you look up to, you also want to have the same set of qualities. The same way, यहाँ पे भी वही बात की गई है. Mr. Advani has been a defining figure when it comes to the modern Indian history, right? As he reminisced. What is the meaning of reminiscing? When you're reminiscing about something, that means you're talking about the past in a happy sort of way. जैसे कि जनरली हम बचपन की यादें जब ताज़ा करते हैं. But the thing is, the difference between nostalgia and reminiscing is when you're just talking about the past in a fond manner, whereas nostalgia is when you are desiring for the past to come back. ठीक है, सो ही रिमेम्बर्ड इन अ हैप्पी सॉर्ट ऑफ वे कि उसको उनको वो याद कर रहे थे कि कैसे वो राष्ट्रीय स्वयंसेवक संघ के मेंबर बने थे एट द टेंडर एज ऑफ 14. ठीक है, नॉस्टैल्जिया इज डिफरेंट गाइस. पहली बात तो रेमिनिसेंस एंड नॉस्टैल्जिया आर टू टोन्स. रेमिनिसेंस का मतलब होता है टॉकिंग अबाउट द पास्ट इन अ फॉन्ड मैनर, जैसे कि आपके दादा दादी, नाना नानी बात करते हैं, राइट? एंड व्हेन आई टॉक अबाउट नॉस्टैल्जिया, नॉस्टैल्जिया का मतलब होता है व्हेन यू वांट टू रीलिव योर पास्ट मोमेंट्स, सो देयर इज अ डिफरेंस, ठीक है? वन इज डिजायरिंग फॉर द पास्ट, अनदर वन इज रिमेम्बरिंग इट, ठीक है? चलो, मूविंग फॉरवर्ड, हिज रोल इन द एडवांसमेंट ऑफ द हिंदुत्व आइडियोलॉजी, देखो, ही हैज बीन वन ऑफ द ग्रेटेस्ट फोर्स व्हेन इट कम्स टू द हिंदुत्व आइडियोलॉजी. ही वाज आल्सो, एज यू कैन सी, एनी सिंगल, कोई भी ऐसा सिंगल लीडर नहीं था जिन्होंने इतना हाई इम्पैक्ट किया हो किसी पे, बट प्राइम मिनिस्टर नरेंद्र मोदी कंसिडर्स हिम एज हिज मेंटोर, ठीक है? एंड ऑल्सो व्हेन इट कम्स टू द कैंपेनिंग ऑफ अयोध्या टेम्पल, वहां पे भी इनने अपना एक बहुत ही, आप बोल सकते हैं, फोर्सफुल रोल निभाया. Now the thing is, this campaign, you already know what the campaign was all about. The campaign pushed the limits of constitutional order. अभी तक जो कॉन्स्टिट्यूशन में चल रहा था, उससे हमने उस लिमिट्स को भी क्रॉस किया. व्हाई? बिकॉज व्हेन इट कम्स टू फेथ, as it has been written here, matters of faith cannot be subject to litigation. You cannot really bring law when it comes to matters of faith. That's what has been said in this particular article. ठीक है? As it happens with an extraordinary assertion of popular sovereignty, you saw how people kind of joined hands when it came to opening the Ayodhya temple. And we can see here the Supreme Court of India by 2019 unanimously ruled in favor of the temple. Right? Unanimously ka matlab hai everybody was on board when it came to decision on Ayodhya temple. And finally it happened, and you already know what an iconic moment it was for all of us. ठीक है? So moving forward, हम देखते हैं यहाँ पे ठाकुर जी के बारे में, जो कर्पूरी ठाकुर है, द सेकंड रेसिपिएंट, उनके बारे में भी यहाँ पे बात होती है. He was a central figure in the social justice politics. A euphemism. Can anybody tell me what is the meaning of euphemism? By the way, euphemism is a figure of speech as well. किसी को पता है ये चीज? And if you do not know, please feel free to tell me. I am here to obviously help you out. So when I talk about euphemism, it actually means using, you know, appropriate and more acceptable language for something inappropriate. For example, सबसे आसान example ये है कि when somebody dies, ठीक है, will you say the person is dead or will you say the person has passed away? बताओ. Similarly, when somebody gets fired, instead of using the word fired, because fired is harsh, you will be using we had to let him go. आया समझ में? So that is known as euphemism, an indirect word for expressing something. I also used the sentence hitting the bucket or kicking the bucket. उसका मतलब ये होता है कि when the person has died, you can use these expressions instead of saying the person is dead. ओके, सो समझ में आया? यूफेमिज्म का मतलब होता है ऐसा अप्रोप्रिएट, सोशली एक्सेप्टेबल वर्ड यूज करना फॉर समथिंग इनअप्रोप्रिएट, ठीक है, टू सॉफ्टन द ब्लो ऑफ इट. सो एज यू कैन सी हियर, ठाकुर वाज अ सेंट्रल फिगर इन द सोशल जस्टिस पॉलिटिक्स. एक बात बताओ, सोशल जस्टिस पॉलिटिक्स के लिए ऐसा कौन सा इनअप्रोप्रिएट वर्ड है? एग्जैक्टली, डिफरेंटली एबल्ड इंस्टेड ऑफ डिसेबल्ड, या दिव्यांग जो हम यूज करते हैं, यूजिंग माइल्डर वर्ड्स. एग्जैक्टली आर्यन. तो हम यहाँ पे देख सकते हैं कि सोशल जस्टिस पॉलिटिक्स का मतलब क्या होता है? इंटरमीडिएट कास्ट के लिए जो रिप्रेजेंटेशन होता है, उसके लिए थोड़ा सा अच्छा, आप बोल सकते हो, शब्दों का चुनाव, वो होता है सोशल जस्टिस पॉलिटिक्स. सो शी वाज सॉरी ही वाज एक्चुअली representing intermediate caste. He worked really, I think, very unwaveringly for their cause. And as you can see, of Bihar and the larger Hindi belt, that was the area where he worked. And he also challenged the Congress's hegemony. I think you have already discussed the word hegemony with Shazli ma'am probably, and that's the reason I did not highlight it. So how many of you remember the meaning? और ये जो कर्पूरी ठाकुर थे, ये 2 बार चीफ मिनिस्टर भी रह चुके हैं बिहार के इन द 1970s. Just imagine a chief minister actually working for, stabilizing the situation of the lowermost caste. So real hero, right? So hegemony, do you guys remember the meaning? Congress's dominance. That is the meaning of the word hegemony. ठीक है? Rohit, I know that. I just read your comment actually. Showing dominance, exactly. Of course, I know that. Chalo, coming back to this, he served 2 terms of chief minister. Social justice politics went through phases of self discovery. Not everybody was aware of the social injustice. So, this was the guy who actually made people aware. And they also fought together for social justice for everybody. And it also scattered into numerous parties over the years. So, earlier, he must have started with his own party, and then this idea kind of spread out in among different parties as well. So you can see here one strand is closely aligned with the बीजेपी. Obviously बीजेपी से related मेरे ख्याल से ये थोड़ा सा biased भी है ये वाला particular article. There are social justice groups that are still opposed to it. Obviously, today also there are some social justice groups जो इनके against है, as you can see. And but the BJP owes its current strength considerably to intermediate caste. So if I talk about the BJP and how it has come to power and how it has been, consecutively winning, part of the reason is because they get a lot of support from the intermediate caste that they have actually fought for in the past. So this ongoing process is being reinforced. Which other word can we use for reinforced? We just learnt it by honoring ठाकुर. तो ठाकुर जी को इस चीज के लिए अवार्ड दिया जा रहा है. एल के अडवाणी को फॉर स्ट्रेंथनिंग द हिंदुत्व आइडियोलॉजी उसके लिए अवार्ड दिया जा रहा है. In 2015, A.B. Vajpayee, Atal Bihari Vajpayee, the first prime minister from the BJP, Madan Mohan Malviya, founder of the Banaras Hindu BHU, and they were also conferred with Bharat Ratna. 2019 में अगर बात करूँ तो प्रणब मुखर्जी, भूपेंद्र कुमार हजारिका, नानाजी देशमुख ये रेसिपिएंट्स रह चुके हैं. और ये सारे ही जो सिलेक्शंस है, they are kind of in tune with the politics of the present, because who is in charge right now? It's BJP. तो जब भी आई थिंक प्रॉबली बीजेपी के लीडर्स या बीजेपी की पॉलिटिकल पार्टी जो होती है वो उस समय पे इन पावर रहती है तो प्रॉबली द अवार्ड्स काइंड ऑफ आर गिवन इन दैट वे. Fortified is the word. Very good, Vedansh. And how the history of the Bharat Ratna has always been. So this is basically the history of Bharat Ratna in a way. All India Anna Dravida Munnetra Kazagam founder M.G. Ramachandran, B.R. Ambedkar, they are also conferred the award in the hope that their followers would in turn back the party. उन लोगों को इसलिए अवार्ड दिया गया था so that the followers also, जब उनके leaders जीतते हैं तो obviously there is again a renewed strength which can be easily seen among the followers. तो उस चीज के लिए उनको भी अवार्ड दिया गया था. Mr. Advani and Thakur represent the two legs of BJP politics. So हम देख सकते हैं दोनों ने ही बहुत important role play किया है in the strengthening of position of BJP, namely Hindu consolidation and higher representation for intermediate caste in all fields. So I think that when it comes to the tone of this passage, it's a little bit, आप बोल सकते हो the writer is a little bit critical also about the BJP's role in conferring these Bharat Ratnas, right? So please see the meanings of these words that I had highlighted. If you do not understand anything, let me know. So conferred, the term means to grant or bestow something like an honor or a title or a degree, and it is a formally done action. ठीक है? Yeah, Aditya, exactly. Even I felt a little biased. So, Avi, yes, it is laudatory as well as a little analytical. Not really critical, but analytical. ठीक है? Reminisced, to indulge in enjoyable recollection of past events or experiences. Pedestal is when you provide a platform or a support. Here, when you are trying to elevate or highlight a person's position, a particular object's position. ठीक है? Avi, yes, you're correct. And euphemism. Lucid is clear, very good. Aliza, you're already using some high frequency words, lovely. A mild or indirect word or expression, that means when you use a toned down version of something inappropriate, that is euphemism. So when it comes to the tone of the passage, I would say it was biased, at okay, biased when it comes to the second paragraph. Okay. Also, there were elements of it being analytical, and obviously because we were acknowledging the importance of L.K. Advani and Thakur's roles, so it was laudatory, praising them, right? And Yashita, in order to increase marks in English, you need to read extensively. हमारे पास एक डेढ़ महीना है अभी to basically get familiarity over topics you are not familiar with. सबसे पहले terminology से acquainted हो जाओ, different genre की. Read more articles on the genres which are difficult for you in marks. That's how you can improve your English in general. ठीक है, first para was analytical, exactly. Aditya. So, main idea. Let's talk about the main idea. What do you guys think? किस चीज के बारे में हमने primarily बात की थी? हमने काफी सारी चीजों के बारे में बात की थी. We talked about the discussion and significance. We talked about, oh, just a second. Yes. So coming back to this, we discussed what? We discussed the significance of Bharat Ratna. ठीक है? And we also discussed the recent recipients and their contributions. We also highlighted L.K. Advani and Karpuri Thakur's roles. We also talked about their impact on the society as well as BJP. ठीक है? And their representation of different ideologies, because अगर मैं बात करूँ एल के अडवाणी की, तो एल के अडवाणी was more towards strengthening the Hindutva ideology, whereas when I talk about Mr. Thakur, he worked towards strengthening the position of intermediate caste. ठीक है? तो हमने देखा कि कैसे दोनों का ही representation हुआ, तो ये सारी चीजों को अगर हम combine करेंगे तो we'll get the main idea of this passage. So yeah, that's pretty much it from my side, guys. If you have any confusion, if you haven't understood anything, if you have any queries related to the difficult words, please feel free to ask me. Aryan, exactly. I don't know why they do not give Ratan Tata this award. He so deserves it. Right, Aryan? Yeah, I think everybody would agree with that. So, yeah, I'm waiting for your questions. Thank you so much, Drishti. And yeah, I just hope I feel better. Although I am feeling better already talking to you guys. So see you soon. And yeah, have a great day. Bye bye.